Hey YouTube, Mark Coffman here, and today I am going to be taking a look at this Petrified fish. Now, this one was sent to me by Goondocks, and this is one of the knives that was sent to me through the BPEX pass around group, and thank you guys so much for allowing me to take a look at this knife. I have to say from off the bat, and I am just going to be clear, this is going to be a negative review, okay? So it's not going to be that positive just up front. So yeah, we're going to get into this. So first off, the positives, okay? The blade is very nice, flat ground blade. You've got D2 steel, not a problem with it. It's got a very, very nice sharpening choil here. This thing is very well done. The blade is very well done. The jimping's very well done. The blade here is done well. You've got a nice swedge back here. And then, well, we'll get into the negatives, really. Okay, so that's really the only positive for me, is I like the blade shape. The blade here is very pokey, very, very good at slicing. You get down very thin down here, while at the same time having a nice, robust stock. Now for the negatives, well, we're going to have to start with the pocket clip. Pocket clip is very generic. I really feel like this knife would have shined if it had a very similar pocket clip to the other one he sent me, like this milled one. If this had like a dark stonewash milled clip and dark stonewashed hardware, I think that would have been a little more aesthetically pleasing than stainless steel with this nice black G10 and carbon fiber insert. Now, when it comes to its operation, I mean, it's okay. It does the job, but boy, I would have really liked countersunk screws. You sunk the pocket clip into the handle, but you didn't have sunk screws. So that's a negative for me. The other negatives, this thing is thick. This thing is really thick, and you have a lot of room here for the bearings. There's a lot of extra space here, and for me, this thing has a very light detent. It's not very strong. I mean, it does a good job getting the knife open, but for me, I really want to have a stronger detent. Now, I can't shake this out, okay? But having a stronger detent would mean this thing flies out a little better, and it feels like it's just kind of slugging it out there. I mean, it opens, it looks good, but when you use this, it feels kind of like it's slugging its way out here. It's not operating like a really strong detent would. Now, when it comes to the look of the knife, I think it looks very attractive, but this is the real issue I had, is that these scales are not contoured at all in any shape or form near the edges. And in the end, this is a very uncomfortable knife to use. It's comfortable in hand, but once you're holding it, it feels good. But once you actually hold it in place and start using it, my goodness, this thing is just sharp, 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 especially over here. This edge here is extremely sharp, goes right into my knuckle here, and having this sharp edge right in here doesn't help at all. So for me, that's not very comfortable. Then when it comes to the lockup, this is the biggest negative. It hasn't failed on me, but boy, talk about an early lockup. That is very early. Not even the whole liner lock is into the blade there. And it just doesn't exude any confidence there. So for me, that is the biggest negative. This liner lock just doesn't feel like it's got my back. So for me, I enjoyed carrying this. It did a decent job. I mean, it did fine with food prep, opening boxes, packages, cutting rope, cutting twine. But for me, in the long run, this thing just wasn't very comfortable to use. The jimping was not sufficient enough. They should have gone with jimping all the way across or none at all. And when it came to the rest of the knife, it just kind of fell flat for me. So sorry this review was kind of negative, but that's how I felt for this one. So till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.